gets to go in the mine.
Yeah.
She does. We're gonna be doing a lot of stairs going down and stairs coming back up, as I recall. But we'll do fine. We'll just pick up Sally and let her go. Lay down. You can lay down, sweetie. Yeah, she gets to go too.
Yep.
Yeah, Sally too.
You've been in here before, Sal.
Yep. I'm ready for the good enough silver mine tour. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, they ran out of small hats for Sally.
Yeah, she doesn't get one.
She'll get one.
But we'll hold her tight. Yep, where we're bionic now.
Careful right through here. We're trying to keep the rain out of our mine, which isn't working, but so this one hop up here is a little soft.
Oh, now it feels good. Harry, I'll take the camera, you take the puppy once we get down, once we play the stairs down, okay? Can you see in here?
Let's see. Yeah, we'll adjust.
Much better in here, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Now right over here is the other side of the entrance to our mine. So can you imagine those guys climbing up and down there? They didn't have stairs like we have today. Now, we've made a lot of improvements in the mine over the last 20 years. We have this nice big opening for you folks. We didn't think you wanted to crawl in and out of that all day long.
No.
We also put 20 feet of gravel and dirt in this area to make it nice and level. We also have handrails, stairs, LED lighting at the bottom. Oh, let's take it that way.
Yeah, what is that?
The miners back in the day had their own language. What we just came down was called an incline shaft. They called the top of the mine the back. They called the sides the ribs. We'll be using a lot of that terminology on our tour today. So let's head on down.
Give me her.
Okay.
Come on, Sal.
Careful. I don't know if you guys have had the hellacious monsoons we've had here in Tombstone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We were out camping when it hit.
The rain doesn't come through the mine, of course, because it's all rock.
Right.
But it managed to get all the way down our stairs and halfway through our mine.
We were in Kirchner Caverns, and they were having the same. I said, is it like growing season here when it rains this hard?
Oh,
It comes
yeah.
seeping through.
Now, this is a very famous drift and shaft.
Oh, that's cool.
Once we get down on level ground, I'll tell you why it's so famous.
Okay.
Now, this shaft goes all the way underneath 5th Street up into the basement of the Crystal Palace.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, in 1965, some teenagers had discovered that. They were going underneath Allen Street up into the basement of the Crystal Palace and raiding their liquor cabinet.
Oh, no kidding.
Man.
Now, apparently, the Crystal Palace didn't appreciate that too much. So it's since been filled in. Thank you very much, 1965 teenagers, for ruining it for the rest of us today.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, this area in here is called a stope or room. This one was called the intersection, probably because there's several different ways in
Oh,
and
yeah,
out.
look at this, Harry. Shoot it from here. This is so cool.
Now, the miners had a different way of talking to each other throughout the mine. If you turn behind you there's a big red X. Over here, there is a big O. Now, the X meant not a way out, dead end, or there can be danger, sometimes 300-foot drops on the other side. Now, the O meant way open or the way out. This shaft actually connects into our Tough Nut mine. Now, if you notice, folks, in this room or stope right here, it's really easy to breathe. Almost feels like there's oxygen being pumped in down here. Reason being is back when they started mining, they got down to this level and realized it was hard to breathe. So what we did here at our mines is they connected all the mines together, kind of like a spiderweb effect, which is causing that constant airflow.
Yeah, you can feel it.
The mines actually breathe in and out just like we do. It is a constant 68 degrees down here all year round. If it's 100 degrees up top, it's still 68 down here. If it's 30 up top, it's still 68 down here. So in the summertime, it's cooler for us. In the wintertime, it's warmer. There's only 5% humidity in this mine. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Watch your head here.
Come on, Sal.
At least she's not afraid of mines, huh?
No, she's been in everywhere, actually. The only thing she's afraid of is the gunfire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she
And it's
runs.
just a startle.
You see this black rock over here? You probably already know what that is, right?
Is that silver?
It is your low-grade silver. About 97% of silver in this mine is low grade. It was that 3% that made them a whole lot of money. Now, if you look up here, you can still want to see one of the original drill steels left by those 1880s miners. Now, if you turn around here, you see these beautifully stacked rocks. This is called cribbing and or gobbing. The miners did this for two reasons. One was that it would help get the rocks out of the way. The other one is they thought it would help hold up the back of the mine. Now this they've discovered quickly, this is a hard rock mine and it's not going anywhere. They realized they were wasting their time, which is why along our tour today you'll see half walls. Now the miners were very meticulous. They were very good at what they did and they got paid well for it. Miners made $4 a day. $100 a month. That doesn't sound like a lot today, but it was a lot back then. In comparison, Army Indian Scout fighting the Apache Wars made $15 a month. Now, a ranger on a foreman on a big ranch would only make about 20 to 25. Now they call this rumor stope the Valley. We in modern days call it the mini Grand Canyon. Y'all been to the Grand Canyon before?
Yes.
Doesn't this look
It
like
does.
a Grand Canyon?
Looks like the Indian
It does.
houses should be up in there.
The reason being, the Grand Canyon is sedimentary rock. This is also sedimentary rock. Everybody know what sedimentary rock means?
Yes. Ocean.
Yep. We actually did some testing in this area about 20 years ago, and they did find fossils in this area. So we know at some point in the world's history, this was underwater. Now you see that pretty blue rock way over there?
Yes.
And I've got a prettier version over here.
Yep.
We all know what that is already, don't we?
Yes.
It's chrysocolla.
Yep.
Some people think copper, some people think turquoise. Chrysocolla is a sister to turquoise, but it is a much softer mineral. So it's hard to make jewelry out of it.
Right.
However, some clever businessmen throughout the years had discovered if they added resin to the chrysocolla, they could make it into jewelry, sell it to you folks for 10 times the price. You guys can have a seat on the bench or stand, it's up to you. Now this is the biggest room or stope that we're going to be in today. Now, any of you, either one of you folks ever played with an M80 firecracker before?
Oh, yeah.
I figured you did.
Not me.
Now that is all the stronger the blasting powder was back then.
Really?
So not very strong. So most of what you see, look around folks, this was mostly carved out by those miners with these two tools. This was called single jacking. Now they started their tour, they received 3 2-hour candles. Now remember I told you they worked 10-hour shifts. A little bit of a math problem there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
So for 4 hours out of those shifts, these miners were working in complete darkness. First, I'm going to show you what it was like for those miners to drill by candlelight.
Oh, nice.
Not bad, right? Can you imagine the sights and sounds back then? So different from what we have today. Now I'm going to show you folks what it was like for 4 hours out of their shift. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is what it was like for those miners for 4 complete hours. Hold your hand up in front of your face. Can you see it?
No.
No. The only reason they knew where they were is they would, when their hand would hit the rock, they would move over 2 inches and continue mining.
Nuts.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Isn't it?
It's amazing.
Now this was called single jacking. There was another thing called double jacking. This was a 2-man operation, and there was a benefit, but also could be a hindrance. This is a 40-pound drill steel. However, one of the benefits, these miners received 3 2-hour candles each, so they had plenty of light for their entire shift. You can imagine this got heavy real quick. The other guy on the other end had an 8-pound sledgehammer. So he would hit this as hard as he could, and this guy would turn a quarter turn. You can imagine this got tiring pretty quickly. The only way they knew to change places is the candlelight would shine on the end of this, kind of like a flashlight. So when he was ready to change places, he would simply put his hand over the end of this. That meant change places and stop hitting. However, if the guy with the 8-pound sledgehammer didn't realize he turned out the light and hit anyway, there was a little minor surgery
Oh my
involved.
gosh, yeah.
Minor?
Yeah, surgery.
Yeah, got it, yeah.
Not to be a minor anymore.
No.
No hand.
Now the miners were suffering from something called mad miner's disease. Ever heard of that before?
No.
It was where they were shake uncontrollably and had severe double vision. They thought it was from being down in the mines in the dark for too long. They were actually checked for this condition when they started work in the morning. If it got too severe, they had to retire. Now in a 10-hour shift, those miners only had 15 minutes for lunch. That was all the break they got. It usually consisted of a can of peaches or beans. Now this is a 130-year-old can that we found down in one of our mines, and this is probably what they used for lunch.
Is it lead?
That round ring on the bottom, that's lead.
Yep.
There was enough lead in this can to make a .45 caliber bullet.
Oh, jeez.
Now somebody mentioned the other day, didn't they eat these canned stuff up top too? And I said, yes, they did. But these miners were heating this up,
Oh.
and that was what was causing. So those miners weren't dying of mad miner's disease at all. They had severe lead poisoning.
Yep.
Now there's something more deadly than lead poisoning. We'll talk about that a little later. Now if you see right up there, that football shape up there, that's all the work one miner would get done in a 10-hour shift. This mine was open for 20 years. It was open from 1878 to 1898. And the miners would start working at 15 years of age. They died at 30 or 35 years old. So those miners that started at 15 in 1878 were not with us anymore by the time the mine closed. They lived a rough life.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to turn off the lights again and I'm going to show it, but this one's really cool. It's my favorite. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Now this is the only place we've ever lit candles down here in our mine.
Yeah.
We've never lit them there, up there, or even over here.
Oh, look at that.
This is all candle wax left behind by those miners.
Yeah, it's hard to, yeah. You could see it glows.
Uh-huh. They made their candles back then out of animal fat.
Wow.
And you can see down here when you came in, it just looked
Yeah.
like a bunch of regular old rocks, right?
Yeah.
We had actually 48 minerals found down in this mine. And you can see all the minerals.
Yeah. The ones that are iridescent.
That's cool.
Cool.
That's my favorite
That
part.
is really neat. And you look at that hole and you're going, oh, so he was either on a ladder or laying down.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Really? It
Well,
had to be
there's-
up
and
on
there's
something.
A hole right there too.
Yeah.
Maybe a little.
Yep. But you notice you can't see the candle wax
No.
with the
Nope.
lights
Not
on.
at all.
I keep telling my boss I want to turn out the lights, take the black light, and go on a 45-minute let's look at glowing wax candle.
Oh yeah.
Tour, and he said no.
Oh, that
Everybody's
was
like, let's do it. And I'm like, yeah, he knows where to hide in here.
Yeah.
Because he comes down occasionally to make sure we're giving you the
Sure.
right information and all
Sure.
that. So, you ready,
Ready?
Sally?
Yep.
All right. Careful right here. It's a little bit of a steep hill there. And we do have some low-bearing rocks coming up.
All right.
Yep. Doing good. This is pretty right here. Minutes out. Wait for Papa. Oh, look at that. Right. Picture of that. That's so cool. All these holes.
I know it. They call this room or stoke the chapel. We're not really sure why they called it the chapel. The only reason we can think of is there's a lot of wood timbers up there that kind of look like crosses. We are now on the 3rd level of the mine, if you look over the railing here, you can see the first, the second, and the third.
Oh, look at that.
Really?
Careful.
Watch out there.
Damn. We're back in there.
Yep. First level, second level, third.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're at the lowest point we're going to be on our tour today. We are now 110 feet underground. You guys know where the comedy show is, one block down?
Yeah.
We're under that right now.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Pretty cool, huh?
Come that far.
We've come that far, yeah.
That's nuts.
Do you smell little mice, Sally?
Yeah. a little
Probably.
bit. Oh yeah. Sure.
We do. We actually don't have mice still. Well, we might have one or two, but we have something called a miner's cat. You ever heard of a miner's cat?
Aren't they kind of like a ring-tailed cat?
Yes. They have the face of a possum and
Yeah.
the tail of like a raccoon.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Thinner.
And they're thinner, yeah, and smaller.
I've never seen one personally. We saw one down
I haven't
the
either.
road,
They say
but-
they have them down here, but the boss has seen them, but I have not.
Yeah, we went to Bisbee
No.
and there was one that somebody had hit. And the only
Oh,
reason
no.
why I recognized it is the skinny, long raccoon tail.
And they're usually
more
nocturnal.
Cat side, yeah.
Yeah, so they live in mines and caves.
Yeah, something's really got her attention.
Well, we actually have a fox living down here.
Oh,
Oh, okay. That's probably what it is.
That's
then.
probably what she's
Yeah.
smelling. Yeah.
fun.
We actually have had 38 weddings and vow renewals right here in this area.
Oh, really? How fun
We actually
would that
renewed
be?
some vows about 2 months ago. So if you folks have any family or friends that want
Yeah.
to get married or renew their vows 110 feet closer to you know where,
Yeah.
have them come tell us.
Have in her
Yeah,
house?
she's
good.
not liking something in
Yeah,
here.
something smells funny
Yeah.
to her.
She won't poop down here, will she?
No.
No.
If she does,
I was like, I don't have a,
I
don't have a-
Yeah, come on, Sal.
Let's go.
because I heard her
We
whining.
had her go to the bathroom before we.
Okay.
She is a service dog and she's trained and
Oh, okay, to hold it.
so yeah. Unless
Yeah, but sometimes
something
they gotta go,
happened,
yeah.
Right.
This is called the hypothermal vents. This is a naturally formed airflow right through the rock.
Oh wow.
Now in this area, what I'm going to show you, remember this was all solid rock. This is not a cave, it's a mine.
Right.
So all these minerals and stuff I'm about to show you were all formed after this was a mine. So right over here we have gypsum.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody know what that's?
Drywall.
Drywalled sheetrock. It's also an underground geode. It is a naturally formed air pocket, formed in an air pocket. Ugh.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
right
this
there.
is pretty over here on the side wall.
It's also an underground geode. Did I say that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Underground geode. If you look down this shaft
Yeah,
right here,
there. It's all on
there's
the
a
side.
whole bunch of them.
Yep.
My boss actually took me down there one time. I said, "You said no." Yellow rope. You said no. Actually, right over here, down this other way, you see those rocks down there?
Mm-hmm.
On the other side of that is a 300-foot drop.
No.
And you'd never know it.
Did they make the drop?
Yes.
Or was that?
They made the shaft. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing in this that was not man-made.
Oh, okay. So no caverns,
No caverns, no
limestone.
nothing, no.
Wow. Cool.
And right here, this formation here, that's called a crystal box.
Isn't that beautiful?
Or a box crystal. Simply means there's more than one mineral that made up this formation. On the bottom they say is gypsum, on the middle is calcium, on the top is low-grade silver mixed with other minerals. It just amazes me that Mother Nature in the right temperature and the right conditions can make this stuff.
Yep.
It's
That's
just
beautiful.
amazing.
Look at the webbing on that.
Some people say, I thought it looked like a spider web.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a little gal the other day, about 10 or 12 years old. She goes, "You ever seen the movie Cocoon?"
Ah.
Uh-huh.
And she goes, "It looks like one of those pods."
Ah.
I said, "You know what it kind of does?" And she goes, "Look, it's breathing." I go, "Stop that!" I am down here by myself sometimes. So when I come down in the morning, I'm doing the inspection, I'm like, "Don't breathe."
Yeah, really. Don't
This,
move.
this is my favorite part down there is the little spaghetti looking stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, how does Mother Nature do that?
Not right. Kind of wild.
Isn't it?
Yep.
It's beautiful. I love
It
it.
is.
And you notice that most of the stuff like this formed on this side of the mine.
Ah. More mineralization.
I
on
guess
this
so.
side.
Be careful coming down there, folks. Now, right up here, you guys know what that is?
I can't see.
On your way.
Is it a pyrite or is it silver?
That is your high grade silver.
That looks like it.
Now let me move my. It might be better if I move
it,
my. Is it better on your camera?
Yeah, either way is good.
Okay.
I can see.
Can you see all that? Look at all
Oh
that.
yeah, that's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful? Careful.
I,
Probably what Ed found in the beginning looks similar to
Was
this.
like a piece of that with some quartz holding it together.
But Richard, of course, recognized it as high-grade silver. And of course, we still have some chrysocolla up here.
Yeah, look at this chrysocolla. Isn't that beautiful with the white
Yeah.
mineralization on top?
Oh yeah, they can see it really well.
Isn't that
here.
pretty?
Yeah. That is really something.
It's just beautiful. Ooh. Yeah, that just really shines too. Oh, here's some too.
Watch your head, folks. That's our headache block
That's-
number 3 there.
It's a big one too.
Yeah, it is.
That's a nice rosy red.
Well, we do that, you know, 'cause that kind of scares some of the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
we're like, no, it's paint.
yeah.
Now, all the ore from this mine was processed at the San Pedro River. That's about 8 miles from here. They had 2 mills, Charleston and Millville. Now, they would start off with ore about this size over here behind me.
Yeah.
They'd put it into a giant crusher, kind of like a Jaws effect, and they'd get it down to about this size right here. Now, this is a chunk of low-grade silver.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Yep, amazingly enough, silver is kind of heavy. So after they got it down to this size, they would put it into something called a ball mill, kind of like a giant washing machine. They put it in there with copper, salt, sulfur, and mercury with these balls right here.
And the mercury.
Oh, that's just a round.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a shot put. I thought it looked like an
Yeah.
avocado.
Yeah.
It does. It does. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now remember I told you there was something worse than dying than lead poisoning?
Oh, yep.
It was mercury. They could not figure out why these millers that were up top were getting sick and dying in 3 to 5 years. It was the mercury. So once they discovered that, they decided to replace mercury with a chemical we all know as cyanide.
All right.
Now that's much better, isn't it?
Oh yeah, leaching is really good for the planet.
Actually, they still use cyanide in processing ore today.
Yeah.
It is a very effective way to process ore.
Yeah.
They just
Especially
have a
gold.
lot better technology
Sure.
to keep people safe that are using it. Now, after they would pulverize that into a powder, they would boil it and skim the silver off the top and make it into 180-pound ingots. Why 180 pounds, you ask? Kind of an 1880s security system. I don't know too many of us are going to be able to put a 180-pound ingot on our back and run across the desert with it.
Yeah.
Now, after they made it into ingots, they would put it on a train and take it to a little place we know as New Orleans, where they would further refine it and make it into Morgan silver dollars.
With the big O on it.
Now, now if you're lucky enough to find a Morgan silver dollar from 1880 to 1882 with an O on the back, that silver came exclusively from this mine.
Oh, now I know. I'm a numismatist, so.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Anything after 1882 was all the mines combined, even the Comstock in Nevada. Now, has anybody ever heard of why our mines closed? What I was told when I came to Tombstone is that they got so far down and they flooded. Totally not true. Anybody ever heard of the gold and silver standard?
Yes.
Well, just the threat of them taking away the silver and just making it the gold standard, the price of silver started to plummet. It went from $2.80 an ounce to $1.20 and down.
No more
Well, then
silver
something
back
came in, excuse me, called the Sherman Act. Y'all heard of the Sherman Act?
Yeah.
That kept the silver mines open and the price of silver up. Well, a new president came in and took away the Sherman Act. The price of silver dropped to 24 cents an ounce. That's what closed our mines.
Boy, I sure wish I could have bought them.
I know, me too.
Man.
Now in today's market, silver, I haven't checked lately, but it's around $18 to $21 an ounce, depending on the day you check. If it got up to about $200 an ounce, we could reopen the mine and make a profit. Would we do that? No. I mean, look around, folks. All this history of those 1880s miners carving this all out by candlelight and in the dark would be lost forever. And we want to keep it just the way it is. The owners of the mine, Rick and Pat Jones, want to keep it open for generations to come to enjoy and learn about those 1880s miners.
this.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah, let me get this. Let me come over here. Yeah, look at that. See it? And it's pretty thick too.
Yep.
And that's a ghost rock, you say, huh?
Yes, sir.
Isn't that something? Yeah.
It's gypsum like we saw back there, and other crystal minerals in it.
Yeah, beautiful.
That is really cool.
See,
It's one of my favorite
you
rocks.
can
Yeah,
carve
sure.
that out.
I mean, look how thick that thing is.
And it's pretty darn heavy,
It's
too.
about 2 inches thick.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
She's better in this room. There was some over there.
There
she
was
didn't-
some
Yeah.
over there.
Uh-huh. She didn't like that at
Someone
all.
lives over there. Come on, Sally girl.
Watch your head, folks. Are you guys having fun today?
Oh yeah.
Good.
I'm a avid rock hound. We had several gold claims in California.
It just amazes me down here.
It's beautiful. I love. See, I feel comfortable under
Yeah,
here.
me too.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother
You know,
me at
actually,
all.
my boss told me that in an earthquake,
You'd
you're
be
safer
safer
here.
here.
Yep.
Right.
Than up top.
I
Yep.
believe in this. Well, it's solid rock, man. This is,
All of the rocking and rolling I went through when it was active got any of the loose fissures. Yep, there's a low grade.
Yep, this is low grade, but you see this going down into here?
Yeah.
You guys must know what that is.
look at this.
That is a silver vein.
Yep.
It was kind of like a road map for the miners. Because usually a silver vein ran into a pot of gold, or in this case, silver. Which is probably why this area is so dug out.
Yeah.
Did he get much gold out of the here
Not
at
much
all?
gold here.
Because
This was
it's a
made mainly a
byproduct,
silver
only
mine.
Silver? Because I know sometimes there's other metals.
But you see all the
Yeah.
low grade here.
Yeah.
There's a ton of it.
That's why this is so open through here. You can see
Uh-huh.
this was really
Well, they mined up in there, but realized it was sedimentary rock.
right.
So, I mean, just what we've been on today is only a small part of this mine.
Oh, sure.
It is the safest part to bring you folks down there.
This is cool.
It is.
Did you get enough?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think so.
Okay.
Well, I can never get enough. I'm in every cave.
No, I meant on this footage.
Oh yeah.
Just cut out the parts where I stumble or stutter.
Man, that's the fun.
Makes us all human, right?
Oh, we're back to where we were.
Yeah,
We just made a big circle.
that's really something.
Doesn't seem like we've been down here 45 minutes, does it?
No.
Not at all.
I told people the other day, I go, I'm just that good.
Well, actually, you're sitting and you're watching and listening to what you're
Yeah.
saying. So, yeah.
Right.
And there's
Pretty
so
much.
much to look at. I mean, the colors
There
are
is.
just beautiful.
Now, right over here, you guys see that bubbly looking stuff? Do you know
Yes.
what that is?
That would be calcite, isn't it?
It's calcium carbonate.
Yep.
They call it popcorn, and it's naturally formed in mines and in caves. Do you know what they make out of calcium carbonate?
Yes, baking soda and Coca-Cola.
It's carbonate or carbonite?
Yeah.
Carbonite. Tums.
Tums
Yeah.
too. Yep.
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 Now, how those
Carbolic
1880s
acid.
those 1880s miners must have went around and licked a lot of ore. How they ever figured out that they took a chunk of that and just
Settle
sucked
your
on it?
stomach.
It would settle
From those
your tummy.
beans.
Yeah. Right?
That's what I said from all that lead poisoning.
Yeah, lead poisoning and beans. You
I'm
need
like,
your
thank you, 1880s
Yes.
miners, for licking all that ore.
Yes.
Isn't that cool?
That's funny.
You can tell some of it's been chipped away a little
Yeah. And it's so funny. It's like in one area, you know. It's like, how did it just all form? Just like right here.
bit. It just has to be the right
And then the
temperature, the
gypsum-
right.
Yeah, it's so funny.
And you guys see over there all those wood timbers? That's
Yeah.
everything we pulled up from here.
Cleaned it up.
Yeah. I mean, probably when the day they closed the mine, they just left. You know?
Yeah. Just said close her up, and that was it.
That was it.
Okay, Harry, I'll trade you.
Okay.
You go up
Now,
there.
before we go up,
Yeah.
folks, I want you to remember that miners did not have the luxury of stairs and handrails. So as we're going up, look in between the stairs on the sides of what those miners had to walk in and out
The
of.
rock.
Those were their stairs.
See, that's the first thing I would have built.
They didn't have shoes like we have today. They had very thin leather-soled shoes held together by nails.
Sure.
You guys ready?
Yeah. Here you go.